Who takes over at Houston? Now, from money to facilities to recruiting area to administrative support, there is no better group of 5 job out there other than Houston. Houston has it all. Just look at the recent coaches. They have Art Briles, Kevin Sumlin, and Tom Herman have all gone from UH to bigger jobs in just the past decade. The Cougars have only missed the bowl game 3 times since 2003. Everything is in place to win there. It really is. So it is still a really good job to go get for maybe a PJ Fleck if he wants to leave Western Michigan to go and get to the Texas recruiting in the University of Houston. But apparently, there are a few Power 5 head coaches that will leave their school for Houston. ESPN's Adam Rittenberg lists Dana Holgorsen, the head coach at West Virginia, which I have a hard time thinking he would leave them. Lincoln Riley, the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma right now. And Lane Kiffin, the offensive coordinator at Alabama, as potential candidates. He also lists Sonny Dykes, Philip Montgomery, Neil Brown, and Les Miles as potential candidates. The Houston Chronicle lists Dan Mullen, Chad Morris, and Jim Leavitt as other possible candidates. Now, we did find out this morning that Chad Morris has agreed to stay at SMU after failing to reach a deal with Baylor. He was in negotiations with Baylor to become the head coach. He just told his team this morning, as Wednesday morning, that he was going to stay in Dallas. So maybe that's he's just staying and not joining Baylor. Maybe Houston comes up. Who knows? Now, donors and board of regents said they would not lose Herman the money. They basically just lost Herman because he wanted to leave. It wasn't because of money. Because they definitely could have paid the $5 or $6 million that Texas is now paying him. Now, Herman, he was already the highest paid group of 5 coach with $3 million annually, so he gets a $2 to $3 million bump, depending on what Texas' final deal comes out to be. And they were willing to pay a lot more. There's many other Power 5 jobs out there, but none of them really bring that interest that Houston does. Now, the facilities at Houston are really building up. They just broke ground on a $20 million football operations and an indoor practice facility earlier this month, and it's expected to be completed by the beginning of the 2017 season. So a coach can step in and say, look, I know you're probably concerned about how Houston's going to bounce back from losing Tom Herman, but let me tell you, we already have some talent here, and we're going to continue to bring in talent, and look at the facilities that we're getting all by next year. So the time you come in, you're going to have all of this, something that those other guys didn't even have. We're going to be fine. So there's a lot of optimism around Houston. Houston fans, Cougar fans should not be completely depressed over Tom Herman leaving. They really should have saw the writing on the wall that at some point, maybe it happened a lot sooner than they thought, he would end up leaving. Now, again, this is what I was talking about earlier. One reason coaching changes happen quicker than and jobs are filled quicker is because of the month-long winter dead period, which started back in 2013. Schools want to get a new head coach in place to reach out to the recruiting classes. Houston has the number 35 ranked recruiting class right now, which is the highest among the group of 5 schools. And we're currently just 2 weeks away from the dead period and 2 months from signing day. It's coming around the corner very quickly, which that gets me to just thinking we will have a signing day special show where we go live on Spreaker and talk about recruiting. So be on the lookout for that. I believe February 5th or February, something like that. It's a Wednesday. It's always a Wednesday. Houston wants to move quickly, but it's more important to get it right as the head coach. So there's a lot out there. I wouldn't really be shocked Les Miles can go and take that program. Les Miles is going to be a favorite for a lot of these jobs as he's the last big-name guy. None of these guys are big-name guys. These are guys that still have a lot to prove. Dana Holgorsen, I guess you could throw his name as a big guy. I just have a problem seeing him leave a Power 5 school in West Virginia, which, I mean, they've had some close years here of winning the Big 12, and they're really not that far off, to just leave and go to Houston. Which you're going to deal with some other issues that you wouldn't have as a Power 5 school. Lincoln Riley could definitely leave. I don't think Lane Kiffin's leaving Alabama. If he didn't want to leave for LSU as the offensive coordinator, which that might still happen, I doubt it does. I think he's really honestly the coach in waiting at Alabama. I don't think that's a hard thing to look at and think about. Sonny Dykes has been a popular name as well with the Baylor job. Philip Montgomery, same thing. He's part of the Briles system of offense. Dan Mullen could leave. Again, I see a hard time leaving a Power 5 SEC school for Houston. But you never know. There's different things. Houston's definitely going to pay a little bit more. I don't think Houston's going to drop off to back being a 5-6 type program, 5-7 program. I definitely think Houston's still going to be a top 25 program for the next few years. They still have talent. They still have Ed freaking Oliver, who is going to be a top a first-round draft pick, whether it's at the end of his junior year or senior year. This guy's an absolute beast. So there's definitely still talent at Houston. There shouldn't be any panic at Houston. You're still going to make some good bowl games. National championship, it might be out of a reach right now, depending on who you get. But Houston is going to be just fine. And whatever coach comes in, going to have a little bit of a better way, an easier way to recruit now because of these facilities and some of the things they're getting now. So that's it. I don't really have necessarily a pick as in who takes over because there's so many names, so many things that still need to be decided in terms of this coaching carousel. But it is going to be fun to watch all of this take place.